Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This comes from Vaughn M. Good morning, movie crew. So over the last 3 months, I've been to the movie theaters 12 times. 6 of those times were to watch Spider-Man No Way Home, and now 3 of those times have been to watch The Batman. You're awesome, Vaughn. I love this. We've really had it good with comic book movies recently. So my question is, now that you've seen both, which one is the better recent comic book movie between the two?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Vaughn. And listen, I'll tell you what. How great is it? How great is it that in such a short window of time, well, right now in theaters as we speak, you can go to the movie theaters and you can watch The Batman. You can come out of it and go right back in and go and watch Spider-Man No Way Home because it's still playing in a bunch of theaters. How great is it that we are actually in a position that we have 2 films like this that are so good and so entertaining and so delightful that we get to even have this conversation.
Is The Batman delightful?
I contend that is delightful.
Okay.
When you
I
come
feel
out of that
weird
movie,
telling people it's fun. I feel weird saying it.
I'm like,
yeah.
fun, but I come out of that
But
movie
it's-
smiling like with a huge grin on my face, man.
It's delightful.
It is not delight. No, you maybe delightful is a word used for turning red.
It's-
But man,
yeah.
it's good.
You have a great time, though.
Yes.
We're like, oh, that's a comic book movie.
So good. And again, you came out of Spider-Man No Way Home with a great smile and like what a great experience and a great movie and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's absolutely wonderful that we even get to have the conversation. I mean, the fact that we're in a context right now that we are getting that, and at the same time, a show like Peacemaker's on TV at the same time is like just going out of my mind with so much good stuff. But it's a fair question to ask. We have 2 really incredibly fun movies of the genre. Very different movies. I mean, you're hard pressed to come up with a couple of movies that are more different. I mean, I guess maybe more different would be the Batman from Deadpool. I mean, maybe that would be a more extreme example of being very different films. But let's make no mistake about it. Spider-Man No Way Home and the Batman are 2 very different films that are almost, other than them being comic book films, are almost completely different genres, appealing to a different kind of audience, even though we're all comic book movie fans and whatever. But still, it should be said right up front, these are ridiculously different movies from each other. And the only context to really talk about them in comparison as to which one do you like better is because, well, they're both in theaters right now and they're both fantastic. So I will not skirt the question. I will not dodge the question. I will answer it.
Ooh.
As to which one I prefer. Which one do I feel is the better one? Like if you know, Dr. Hugo Strange came to me and said, I just slipped you a pill. In 2 minutes, your memories are going to be altered. One of these 2 movies will be wiped from your memory and you'll never be able to see it again, and one can stay. Spider-Man No Way Home or The Batman? And you got to answer now. Okay. The Batman is such a triumph. We've talked about it a lot the last few days since we've seen it. Is such a triumph for the genre in the sense of it really did genre bend. It's 7. I mean, it's 7 in a comic book movie world. We've never seen a comic book movie do what this thing has done. On the other hand, Spider-Man No Way Home, besides its tremendous success, becoming one of the biggest films of all time, in an era where, according to Variety, still over 25% of semi-regular movie-going audiences who used to go to movies before the pandemic started have still not returned to the movie theaters yet. And yet, it was able to become one of the biggest films of all time. Certainly an outlier, certainly an exception to the rule, but oh my God. And create such a fun, buzzing experience that our viewer has gone back to the theater 6 times to watch it, because that's the kind of thing it does. And it manages to be emotional in parts. There are people who are teary-eyed watching that movie, cheering their heads off in that movie. I mean, it's just what an accomplishment that movie is. Which one, to me, is the better one, considering they're both in theaters? If I could only go back to watch one more time, it would be the Batman. It would be the Batman. And listen, I adore Spider-Man No Way Home. I've seen it many times. I will see it many more. I think Tom Holland's fantastic in it. What Alfred Molina was able to do, what Willem Dafoe was able to do in it, having the Spider-Man back, those scenes of them all together wasn't just cheap fan service. It was in service to the narrative and the story. They pulled it off. What John Watts did with that movie has been incredible, and I love it. But the Batman, to me, is a movie that transcended the comic book genre. It is legitimately like if you take Batman out and say this is a movie about a detective named Detective Grind. I don't know. I'm just making up a name. The movie is called Detective Grind. And other than the fact that having a secret lair underneath the city bowels, this is a serial killer political thriller noir. That's what this movie is at its heart. And it's like Logan. I compare it to Logan in that way, Rob. Like Logan, it's a movie that completely, yes, it's a comic book movie, but it's not even primarily a comic book movie. It's something else that happens to have comic book characters in it. And that's a very difficult trick to pull off. And to me, Matt Reeves pulled it off with the Batman. So while I am super happy that we are living in a time right now where we've got both of these incredible movies in theaters right now, and I love them both, for me, I'm going to lean ever so slightly towards the Batman. I just thought, for me, it was a more profound experience. Movies are experiential events. Both these movies deliver great experiences, but I'm going to think for me, now that I've seen it twice, the Batman is the more profound experience for me. Rob, it is almost an unfair question to ask because, again, these two movies are completely different. They're made with different tones in mind and all that kind of stuff, but they're two dynamic films in theaters right now, so I can understand the question. So I put it to you. Spider-Man No Way Home, the Batman. There's no wrong answer here, but which one to you is your better experience?
Well, I'm completely in line with everything that you said. I mean, ultimately, for me, what resonates more in the long term with people? And I think the questions and the at least for me, the idea of what Bruce Wayne goes through in the film, the question he asks, can I make a difference? You know, should I even do this? I've been doing this for 2 years and crime is up, everything is up, and I haven't done anything. And then the question that is answered at the end for him is yes, I can. And this is what I've learned in this process. And this is what I'm going to continue to do. And I think that there's a lesson there that resonates beyond. I loved Spider-Man No Way Home. It was a lot of fun. But to me, it's far more disposable fun. Whereas I think the Batman has a lot to say about the current state of affairs in our urban environments. And it asks questions of the viewers that resonate long after the movie's over. And this is only since, would I want to give up Spider-Man No Way Home? No. But I do think that as a movie, as an experiential event, as you put it, and as something that will resonate across decades, the Batman is probably worth keeping.
All right. Now, I want to go over and ask Ray about this, because Ray has seen both of these. But before I do, I am putting up, this is one that deserves to be a poll in the live chat there. So I have just posted a question in the poll for those of you guys watching live. Simple question. Which of the two movies, which of the two great movies, Spider-Man No Way Home or The Batman, did you prefer? So we got that poll up there. Now I'll leave that to you. But Ray, going to go over to you. These are two movies that I've seen with you recently. These are great movies. Which one do you kind of lean towards?
Well, I'm going to put it in terms of, since I don't really do second viewings, I did with the Batman. I didn't with No Way Home. As if both Blu-rays were to come out. Like,
Okay.
I believe the Batman
And they
Blu-rays
are.
on pre-order and things like that. Which one would I buy? The Batman is a better movie. I think the acting by everybody was way better than the acting in No Way Home. But I like No Way Home. I would buy No Way Home on Blu-ray. I think I would forward through more scenes in the Batman than I would in No Way Home. That's all I'm saying. It's my personal taste. Don't flame me. It's just the way it is.
No, Rob, we're all taking our...
I'm already saying Batman is the better movie in every aspect of acting, whatever. But I just like No Way Home more. It gives I would put that.
You had
Yeah.
a better experience
That's
with No Way
fair.
Home.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think people can flame you for a hypothetical anyway.
Chris, let's go over to you on this. You've seen both. I know you've enjoyed both. It's a tough question. We acknowledge it's an unfair question.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick one, which one's your choice?
I mean, it's apples and oranges, but
Yeah.
I'm with Ray. I'm going to go No Way Home. Spider-Man, Peter Parker was the first love of my life. That animated series when I was a little baby was like, oh, I love him. I would go with that. And yes, I know that also you need the other two movies.
Sure.
Like we're going to just call a spade a spade. You need the other two movies to have the emotional impact that third one delivers.
Sure. Yeah.
But I cried in that one. I cheered in that one. My theater experience for that one too was so beautiful, of people just like losing their minds when certain things happened there. And it reminded me about why I love seeing movies in a theater. Because for the past 2 years, I'd just been like, man, do I really need to go back to the movies? This is pretty cushy at home. No one judges me if I bring out my Trader Joe's chili mangoes. But seeing Spider-Man in theaters and having everyone have this reaction too, and sharing my experience and sharing this fandom with me, that is one of the reasons why I'm in love with movies. And that's why I'm particularly in love with Spider-Man.
All right. Well, I put up a poll in the chat, and we've got a little over 1,000 votes already. And right now, 66% or now 65% of you guys in the live chat are saying you preferred the Batman, while 35% of you are saying Spider-Man No Way Home. I honestly thought it'd be a little bit closer.
I did too.
I mean, it's not a massive gap, but I expected that to be closer. But right now, 65% are saying the Batman, 35% are saying Spider-Man No Way Home. And what's interesting about both these movies is that each of them brings things to the table that the other did not. You know, Rob, you were saying a little bit earlier that, you know, one of the words you can't really use to describe the Batman is fun. Like, yeah, you cannot do that. But Spider-Man brought like loads of fun. There's loads of fun to the table, right? There's a lot of things that the Batman brought to the table that you aren't going to find in Spider-Man either. And I love just that they both kind of work on that level.
I just want to say, I didn't see their name, but someone brought up a good. He said, "You're making me choose between the lightsaber and the Mandalorian armor."
Ooh.
That's great. I mean,
That's a joyous thing that we even get to have this discussion right now that we have. I mean, it's a lot better than that piece of shit Spider-Man movie, that awful, disappointing Batman movie. Which one was more disappointing?
What upsets you more, bat nipples or Tobey Maguire's dancing?
Yes. It's so good that we get to have this discussion instead of that one.
and we're only in the first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We still got more to come.
Dude, we've got like we've been celebrating things like Peacemaker and things like Spider-Man No Way Home, and now we're celebrating the Batman, and we've got Halo coming,
So-
we got Moon Knight coming,
We got
we've
Bullet Train.
Morbius coming, which I'm super Bullet Train. We've got, I mean,
The real Moonfall.
Northman, the
Top Gun,
Top Gun.
Maverick.
I mean, we got so much good stuff lined up. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about the comparison here? If you had to say, like, these are both great movies, but I lean this way or I lean that way. Do you lean towards Spider? Do you lean towards the Bat? Which one did you prefer? Whatever you guys' thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to take a minute and thank a sponsor of today's video, Viore. Now, you know, Ann and I like to work out and train several days a week, but the thing is, I want to be comfortable and not look like a slob at the same time, and I often have a hard time finding something that does both. But Viore, everything is designed to work out in, but it doesn't look or feel like it's made to be worked out in. It is so comfortable, you will want to wear this stuff all the time. Now, you guys know I like some flexibility and versatility in the clothes that I wear, but that's where Viore comes in. See, it can be used for just about any activity like running, training, swimming, yoga, but it's also great just for lounging around or going out on the weekends in. For example, take the men's core shorts. These are the most comfortable and one of the best looking pairs of shorts that you can own, and they're versatile. One pair of shorts for just about every sport that you can play. Or take the men's Sunday performance jogger. These pants are perfect for lounging around in or going out for a good run. Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our viewers, they are offering 20% off your very first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at viore.com/Campea. That's VUORI.com/Campea. Viore.com/Campea. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to Viore.com/Campea and discover the versatility of Viore clothing.